improving the mind, right? And one thing we got to do within this communication realm, we got to learn how to communicate with ourselves. One of that is like the the most important, because whatever is inside is excuse me, whatever is on the outside is just a reflection of what's going on the inside, right? So we have to learn to listen to that inner voice. We have to learn to talk to ourselves in a certain light, right? We learn how to communicate with ourselves. Now, before I had mentioned, I did a live about a week or so ago about what voice do you hear? What voice do you listen to? What voice are you purposely choosing to communicate with yourself? And what was so profound, I talk to people about these types of things, right? I don't just think them myself. I actually get experience. I actually talk to people about this stuff. Um, One of the guys I spoke to, one of my brothers I spoke to, he said somebody told him to be careful on how you talk to your children, because those are the voices that they use to talk to themselves. So he has 3 kids. He emphasizes how he speaks to his children because he wants them to talk to themselves in a certain way, right? You think about the parent who is a disciplinarian, you wonder why the child outwardly seems to have low self-esteem or something like that. It's because the voice that they're hearing is their parents, right? And they continuously discipline themselves. My mother was not a disciplinarian, but I also take on that discipline. I um I highly emphasize in my life that you have to do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do. Simple things. Clean up, do your chores before you play the game, go outside, have fun, right? Work, then play. That is instilled in me, right? So a lot of my people be like, "Why I don't play the game as much as I want to when I love to play the game? I'm a whole adult." Well, it's because I truly believe I need to do some work first, and work is never complete as an adult. Right? Work is never complete as an adult. Not for me. Not as an entrepreneur, creator, all of that stuff. It's still early, we're getting ready. So that's one of my things that I tended to latch on to is work then play. But what voice do I use for that, right? I was tapping into the mother. I was tapping into um, a parent, a parenting voice. So I actually have a video that I'd like to show you guys about this. Let me get it ready back here. All right. Check this video out.
Let me tell you about a voice. Not this voice, but the one inside. The one that whispers. It tells me what's right and what's not, when to leave and where to go. It's not Shakespeare. It does not speak in memorable lines. My inner voice always gives it to me straight. Tells me who my real friends are, when to say yes, when to say no, whether the person sitting next to me is the one I'll be spending the rest of my life with or not. Sometimes that voice is crystal clear. Go, stay, right, wrong. Sometimes it merely whispers. Don't let it drown in a noisy world, because in the end, no man, woman, or algorithm knows what's right for you. Always trust your inner voice. Everybody has one. Few listen to it. Let me tell you.
I don't know what it is about Morgan, but my guy is so powerful, right? My guy is so powerful. My guy is so powerful. I completely love that. I love that. So it's not only listening, it's not only what voice do you use, but having your own voice and actually listening to it. You know, I've been in therapy, and first of all, shout out to therapy. Therapy is not uh outward cry for help. It's not in defeat. It's not in defeatedness that you need therapy. It's not anything to be ashamed of. It's not for anyone else but you, right? I'm a therapy advocate. And recently I was in therapy, and one of the things my therapist said is to trust yourself more. Now, you're talking to Mr. Mindset here, right? Trust yourself more. You know, I could be so generous, I could be so selfless that I start to lose self. Trust yourself more. Listen to yourself. Do for you. The thoughts that you have are not by coincidence. It's not by chance that you've had a certain thought. You feel a certain way. It's not by chance. And I really want to touch on that because we are in a society where everybody is trying to learn how to be. Man is trying to learn how to be man. Woman is trying to learn how to be woman. Lines get crossed, roles get blurred, so forth, so on, right? And in all of this effort to be, you lose sight of self. You can lose sight of self. You can develop a lot about yourself, but you can lose sight of self. And you know, it's like trial and error, yeah, but are you really open to learning, right? A lot of guys lose their identity to create this new macho identity of what they've been told a man is. One of the things that is a myth, it's a falsehood, is man has no emotion. That is not true, right? Because a strong man is one who can control his emotions, not one who acts as if he doesn't have any. Come on. A strong man is one who can control his emotions, not one who acts as if he doesn't have any. And how do you control your emotions? My guy TD said false. Which part is false? How do you control your emotions? How do you control yourself? You first have to acknowledge what you're feeling. If you don't acknowledge what you're feeling, then you cannot control it. You cannot take heed of it, right? If you don't acknowledge what you're feeling, then you cannot take control of it. Say, I agree, men do have emotions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Men have emotions. It's a natural thing. right? And I want the guys to understand that, like, yo, like, it's cool, bro. We've all been through something. We all go through things. It's all right, man. It is all right. It's cool for you to go through something. And shout out to look, man. Look, shout out to TD, man. Much love to TD. I appreciate you, boss. Men definitely have emotions, and that's what I want to explain is a strong man is one who can control his emotions, not one who acts as if he doesn't have any. So once you acknowledge your emotion and you can process your emotion, you can set better boundaries, right? You can work on better communication because you're not reacting out of what? Emotion, because you know that you're emotional about something. Now you can react in a certain manner, right? You know what triggers you. We all have triggers. We all have triggers. How do you know you need to jump in and protect? What's that fight or flight sense? We talking about trusting yourself. That's a spiritual thing. That's listening to your inner voice. That's going off of what? Your gut feeling. Scratch that myth that men don't have emotions. We all have emotions, right? We even go as far as saying men are more logical in their decisions. Logic is based off emotion as well. I won't go too far on that, but logic is based off emotions as well. You're going to make the most logical decision based off of what you feel is right, what you feel is necessary. Sometimes we throw logic to the wind. Sometimes the logic is, I need to put a bitch in this place. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the logic is reactionary, but that's based off of what? The emotion present. If you don't acknowledge the emotion, then you're going to think that you're thinking logically in the moment. So we're going to kill that, scratch that myth that men don't have emotions, man. We all have emotions, but we have to acknowledge the emotions and then make logical decisions for a logical sense of resolution, of conflict problem solving. Like, you have to start bringing more factors into it instead of just reactionary emotion, right? It's good that you feel things. That means you're alive. It is a great thing that you feel. It means that you're alive. I put the link in the description. I always be going through little challenges, but I put the link in the description. Um, Anybody wants to join, you're definitely able to. Like I said, have different challenges. Um, Stuff in the background, but it's awesome. It's awesome once you learn these things. And one of the ways that we do this is what? Talking to ourselves. What does talking to ourselves without vocalizing it look like? Thinking. All thoughts is communication with self. Think about that. Mine neither, bro. Mine neither. That's why I got the hat. But whenever you're ready, man, there's the link. Whenever you're ready, in the near future, there's the link. But yeah, all of these thoughts is communication with self, and we have thousands of them. I think the average is about 80,000 thoughts a day, right? That's a lot of thoughts. That's a lot of talking to yourself. Well, when are you going to listen to yourself? When are you going to start trusting yourself? When you listen to your inner voice and you trust yourself and you do what you thought you should have done and you get a result from it, that's when you start to believe in yourself. Hello? That's when you start to believe in yourself. This is one of the ways that you build confidence. Confidence is trust and assuredness in self. I'm confident that I can achieve. I'm confident that I can talk to. I'm confident, right, that I can get to the end goal. Why? Because I listen to myself. I trust myself. You got to learn to listen to your inner voice. Listen to your inner voice. It's powerful. It's yours. It's only you, right? Says I always say God gave men these big, strong bodies and wide shoulders to carry weight. Weights can be emotional, stress, being the bigger person and walking away. I think stress is the biggest weight that we carry. I think stress is the biggest weight that we carry. And we meant for it, we built for it, right? Absolutely. But how you carry it? How long do you carry it? When do you decide to put it down, right? Somebody who picks up a boulder, you look at any like illustration to if you draw it out, you see somebody pick up a boulder, they're usually picking that boulder up to relocate it. At what point you gonna put that ball of weight down, right? I just like to challenge the thought because a lot of guys just go off of like blanket statements or like introductory phrases of things. And I'm more of a, like I said, solution based. What's the end goal? What's the purpose? Right? I don't mind carrying the stress. I don't mind going through the pressure. I'm built for it, all of that. But why? Why would I do it? Because I'm not gonna take on the pressures of something that's not beneficial for me. So why would I do it? Why do I keep on harboring on communication? I see it on a larger spectrum. I see it as a starting point to true peace, harmony, solidarity, you know, all of that. I see it as a starting point, a trigger to actually coming together. Can't have community without communication. So, yes, I'm more willing to deal with the pressures of communicating. I'm more willing to deal with talking to people repeatedly until we come to some type of understanding. I'm more willing to start a conversation, right? I'm more willing to talk about things of the unspoken nature because I see the purpose, I see the reason why. If you don't see why, you're not going to be willing to take on that pressure. You're not going to be willing to endure that stress. You're not going to be willing to carry that weight. So again, it ties back into emotion. It has to feel right for you, right? It has to be fulfilling to you. It has to be, fulfilling to you, right? It has to be fulfilling to you. It has to be, fulfilling to you, right? It has to be 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 if it's purposeful, it's meaningful. If it's meaningful, you feel it, right? Didn't mean to turn this into a lecture on emotion, but it's at the center of everything. We're driven by it, right? If we didn't feel anything, we wouldn't protect, we wouldn't provide, we wouldn't care. We can die off. Oh well, right? You fight because of an emotion. You keep going. You work hard. You're trying to improve because of at the root, there's an emotion attached to something. And a lot of us guys especially, but a lot of people neglect their inner voice, refuse to do the shadow work, cannot be by themselves because that's where all the all of the thrown away emotion, all of the emotion that was put on the back burner, right? All of it is right there. So they can't fathom everything, like it's like a resentment. They can't fathom everything that's inside that they tried to hide. You can't hide from yourself. Said to tie it back to inner voice. My inner voice has been a bit of a crybaby at times. Having a more responsible disposition has helped me. Boom. Come on, bro. You dropping truth, man. You dropping truth, man. And the truth is, most of us have that. We're multifaceted people. We have all of these things. Self-control, governance of self. You cannot control what you don't acknowledge. If you act like it ain't there, you can act like you don't see that bear over there. That don't mean you can't get attacked by that bear over there. You can act like you don't see that car coming. It's gonna be a head-on collision if you don't hit the brakes. Hmm? You can act like it all you want. I know too many people who are acting. I know too many people who are acting exactly what you're talking about, right? Because we hitting it on the head, man. We hitting it on the nail. I know too many people who are acting like men, who are acting like adults, who are acting like they got it together, right? I applaud the one who is willingly like, I am not I am not well. Because the first step to change is acknowledging what needs to be changed. So if you know and can admit, like I'm not good right now, instead of acting like all is well, whatever, ain't nothing but some work, just put it to the side, keep working, forget my feelings, you know. I understand the phrases because there are times, especially like we're in reality, right? We're in reality. You still have to maintain a lifestyle. You still have to do for loved ones. You still have to do for self. You still have to provide for yourself. How do you provide for yourself? If this is the means and you can't change it immediately, then you still have to continue, right? So I understand like the simplicity of it, but the blanket is like forget the feelings, just work. Like, nah, it's work on yourself while working. Right? How do you know you need to work on yourself? Your inner voice is telling you something. You have a gut feeling. Do you know that this is one of the ways that God speak to you? Spirit speaks. It's all internal. You ever hear somebody say, God told me this? When? What does God voice sound like? I'll tell you. It sounds like you talking to you. God is within, right? So that inner voice is more powerful than we actually know. I'll tell you my experience right now. It was 10 minutes before the live, and I was like out of it. I had a rough night. I had a rough night. I've been uh I've been working alongside working on myself, and work just keeps on increasing, and I have to accept that in order to change what I need to change, right? And that's all cool. But I'm working with the elements. Certain stuff got to be put on the back burner, and it's all good because I'm handling life, but I want to control life. Life gone life, but I want to control life. I need to be doing something. And I am. Um, but last night got rough for me, right? And we just talking about physically, just being transparent. I was back and forth to the bathroom every hour. Like my body was rebellious on something. This got to get out. And I was back and forth to the bathroom every hour. So I got real choppy sleep. It's real cold where I am. It's what? 16 degrees. It is 16 degrees. It's real cold where I am. And I'm like, man, I could just, it's one of those days where it's like, I could just stay in bed. That's the feeling. The inner voice kicked in, like, you got work to do. I was like, what if I didn't go live? I challenged myself. I was going to go live every day this month. What if I didn't go live? Oh, I could just do it later. When? Knowing that it's about to be a crazy work day. Ain't no other time. Ain't no later. But what you can do is go ahead, scrounge up as much sleep as you can. And I pushed it till 10 minutes before I had to go live that I set the time for myself. I usually get up an hour earlier. I got up 10 minutes before I had to go live, managing self, and still showed up. Look at me. I'm energetic. I'm happy that I came. I'm happy that I'm here. And I feel fulfilled because this is more purposeful to me. Why am I willing to take on that pressure? Why am I willing to endure that stress? Why am I willing to be consistent? Because it's purposeful to me. I show up not just for you guys, this is for me, right? I didn't even know what I was going to talk about today. But look what happened. And usually, when you listen to yourself, here we go. When you listen to yourself, when you listen to your inner voice, it's usually the right thing for you. Who knows you better than you? Who knows you better than you? My God, TD. Who knows you better than you? So I talk to myself. And every now and then I think out loud, meaning I talk to myself vocally, regardless of who's around. And they'll say, hey, who you talking to? I'm talking to myself. Why you talk to yourself? Because sometimes I need expert advice. Like, who knows me better than me? You ever talked out your issues? Raise your hand if you on the drive home from work or the store or wherever, raise your hand if on the drive home the music off and you just talking to yourself. It may sound like, man, F this, I don't like this, da da da. It might start off like that, but by the time you get home, you feel refreshed. You have a plan. You're like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like I was gonna do all of this, but you know what? I'm gonna just do this and chill. It's because you know what you need to do for yourself. You know when you need to recharge. You know, huh? When you need to make a move. You know when it's time to cut somebody off. You know when it's time to go to a different position. You know when it's time to elevate. You know when it's time to start the conversation, break that ice, get through that barrier, have the tough talk. You know more than what you acknowledge. Your inner voice will tell you it's time to stop fighting with your inner voice and start listening and trusting yourself. Listen to your inner voice and trust in yourself. Gotta go. It's always good stuff, my friend. Have a good day. Absolutely, man. Look, man, I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you're starting your day off well, right? I hope this was powerful and impactful for somebody, got some value for somebody out there. And man, I just want you to kill the day, bro, in the best way. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here, TD. Much love, much appreciation. You know what? Yeah, man. I appreciate you. And that's for everybody that's here, man. That's for everybody that's here. You're all awesome. And you know it. Don't fight yourself about it, right? If you know you've been doing well, don't let somebody else convince you that you haven't. No one can impose on your self esteem, your self identity. You build your assurance in yourself by listening to yourself, by trusting yourself. You are the guide that you need. Hmm? You are the guide that you need. And you got it. You got it, man. This whole live is a note to self. It's a message to self. I told you in my therapy session, my therapist ended it off with trusting yourself. Listen to yourself more. And I really feel like that's a message that we all could use because I'm confident, right? I'm confident, I'm outgoing, I'm willing, I'm pressure, I'm patient, I'm generous, I'm high energy, and I still need that lesson as well. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, listen to yourself. The result is unanimous. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing when you listen to yourself. You do what you need to do for you, even when you feel like you might be letting somebody down. It's usually not as bad as it's going to seem, right? Or what somebody else says it is, and all of that stuff. If you need you, the line is you can't pour from an empty cup. If you need you, then give to self. All answers are within. God resides within all of us, and He works through us. To know what work needs to be done, we have to listen internally. right? So listen to that inner voice. Listen to yourself. That's all I'm gonna give you for the day. It's Mindset Monday. We will keep up Mindset Monday for the rest of the year, right? And let's continue working on ourselves. Let's continue improving, guys. It's Trayvon Pratt with AIM, always improving the man. I'll be seeing you. Much